Hello, I am Julianne. Welcome to Georgia. Hi there, now we are in Rustaveli Square. It is our first time meeting and introduce each other. Have look, what are they doing? Rustaveli Avenue, Georgian, Rustaveli Square, formerly known as Golovin Street, is the central avenue in Tbilisi named after the medieval Georgian poet, Shota Rustaveli. The avenue starts at Freedom Square and extends for about 1.5 kilometers in length, before it turns into an extension of Kostova Street. Rustaveli is often considered the main thoroughfare of Tbilisi due to a large number of governmental, public, cultural, and business buildings that are located along or near the avenue.
Hello, I am Tech. We will give you information about this place. Tbilisi Monastery stands on the rocky mountaintop at the confluence of the Tbilisi and Aragvi rivers, overlooking the town of Mskata, which was formerly the capital of the Kingdom of Iberia. According to traditional accounts, on this location in the early 4th century Saint Nino, the present building, or Great Church of Tbilisi, is generally held to have been built between 590 and 605 by Arizan Tavarist Banazai. The importance of Tbilisi complex increased over time and attracted many pilgrims. In the late Middle Ages, the complex was fortified by a stone wall and gate, remnants of which still survive. During the Soviet period, the church was preserved as a national monument, but access was rendered difficult by tight security at a nearby military base. After the independence of Georgia, the building was restored to active religious use. Tbilisi was listed together with other monuments of Mskata in 1994 as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. However, over the centuries the structures suffered damage from rain and wind erosion and inadequate maintenance. Tbilisi was listed in the 2004 World Monuments Watch list by the World Monuments Fund. Uncertainty over, and debate about, the date of the church's construction have assumed nationalist undertones in Georgia and Armenia, with the prize being which nation can claim to have invented the four-apse church with four niches form.
Expansion and one of the oldest cities in Caucasus, and also in the world as well. For decades, Tbilisi has been the spiritual and religious center of Georgia. The church is behind you. That one. The main spiritual center of the Georgian culture. Here nearby you can see a lot of inscriptions, a lot of decorations, a lot of buildings and so on. All of them show us the development.
Tbilisi Monastery, Georgian, is a 6th century Georgian Orthodox monastery near Mskita, eastern Georgia. Along with other historic structures of Mskita, it is listed as a World Heritage Site by UNESCO.
What's up? I am Anna Chan. Will you know story from me about this place? Let's check this out. Is a city in Kartli province of Georgia. One of the oldest cities of Georgia, it is located approximately 20 kilometers, 12 miles, north of Tbilisi at the confluence of the Aragvi River. Due to its historical significance and several cultural monuments, the historical monuments of Mskita became a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1994. History. Mskita was founded in the 5th century BC. It was capital of the early Georgian kingdom of Iberia, Kartli, from the 3rd century BC to the 5th century AD. King Dachi Iujarmali, early 6th century AD, who was the successor of Vakhtang I Gorgasali, moved the capital from Mskita to the more easily defensible Tbilisi according to the will left by his father. However, Mskita continued to serve as the coronation and burial place for most kings of Georgia until the end of the kingdom in the 19th century. Rustaveli Cathedral, 11th century, and Javeri Monastery, 6th century, in Mskita are amongst the most significant monuments of Georgian Christian architecture, and are historically significant in the development of medieval architecture throughout the Caucasus. Of special significance are early inscriptions, which form a valuable reference in the study of the origins of the early Georgian alphabet. Threats. The historical monuments of Mskita were recently placed on UNESCO's list of World Heritage in Danger, citing serious deterioration of the stonework and frescoes as the main threat to the site's long-term preservation. Various Georgian kingdoms and republics. Located on the crossroads of Europe and Asia, due to its proximity to lucrative east-west trade routes, Tbilisi has historically been an object of competition between countless rival empires. Later, Under Russian rule, from 1801 to 1917 Tiflis was the seat of the imperial viceroy governing both sides of the entire Caucasus. Tbilisi's storied past is reflected in its architecture, which is an eclectic mix of medieval, neoclassical, Middle Eastern, Art Nouveau, Stalinist and modernist structures.
First Christian piece of the realm is why. This place is very important because here behind the church in the yard
Hi. After we walked around Javarali and Mosquita. Are you hungry? I am Rosiati or Hassan who will explain about this session. Restaurant Mskita Salobi is probably the oldest and most popular restaurants in Georgia. The main dish in its menu is beans prepared in a pot and meat pies. Besides, here, in the most democratic place, you can enjoy kebabs, barbecue, and other traditional Georgian dishes. Lobio is a traditional Georgian dish of various kinds of prepared beans, cooked or stewed, containing coriander, walnuts, garlic and onion. There are many varieties of lobio, both hot and cold. Mshady is a traditional Georgian cornbread traditionally eaten with lobio and cheese. Mshady is a very popular cornbread traditionally eaten with lobio, beans, and cheese. In this family recipe from Georgia's Racha region we show how to make mshady filled with smoked rashulai bacon and decorated with a pattern made with a traditional wooden sakri lel bilai.
Present-day Tbilisi is one of the safest cities and frequently ranks among the most popular emerging destinations thanks to Georgia's growing tourism industry. 6-7 Historically, Tbilisi has been home to people of diverse cultural, ethnic, and religious backgrounds, though it is overwhelmingly Eastern Orthodox Christian. Notable landmarks include cathedrals like Samba and Sinai, the medieval Narikala fortress, classical avenues Rustaveli and Agmashanbali, as well as the exotically designed Georgian National Opera Theatre.
Tbilisi, the capital of Georgia. Constructed between 1995 and 2004, it is the third tallest Eastern Orthodox cathedral in the world and one of the largest religious buildings in the world by total area. Samba is a synthesis of traditional styles dominating the Georgian church architecture at various stages in history and has some Byzantine undertones. Architecture. The Samba Cathedral is erected on the Elia Hill, which rises above the left bank of the Kara River, Mtveri, in the historic neighborhood of Aflaberi in Old Tbilisi. Designed in a traditional Georgian style but with a greater vertical emphasis, and regarded as an eyesore by many people, it is equally venerated by as many others. The cathedral has a cruciform plan with a dome over a crossing resting on 8 columns. At the same time, the parameters of the dome is independent from the apsis, imparting a more monumental look to the dome and the church in general.